Hello, I'm Rob Thomas, and welcome to another edition of The Road Back, brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. Today's edition of The Road Back is brought to you by Hard-Tru, the official playing surface of World Team Tennis. Since 1931, Hard-Tru has grown the world's premier clay court company, but Hard-Tru doesn't stop at clay. Their mission is to lead the tennis industry by creating better places to play. Hard-Tru helps others make and maintain the best courts in the world with a focus on customers, using a wealth of knowledge and experience to effectively serve their needs. When you want complete confidence installing, improving, upgrading, and maintaining your tennis courts, turn to Hard-Tru Consulting. Hard-Tru looks well beyond the court surface to design an all-inclusive plan for creating the most compelling tennis experience possible. Consultation services include construction and maintenance guidance prior to renovations or new construction, identifying capital improvements for long-term planning and budgeting, investigating the possibility of converting hard courts to clay courts, and providing tailored maintenance programs and on-site training to your facility's needs. Learn more at hardtru.com. For today's fresh insight into how clubs are meeting the challenges posed by the coronavirus pandemic and are finding new and innovative ways to boost business levels and start their return to full operation, we're talking with Matt Grayson, Director of Athletics at Ansley Golf Club in Atlanta. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hey, real quick, how did COVID affect? I mean, it started out in March, really big, right?
Right.
How did COVID affect that? You have a very robust tennis program there. How did it affect you guys?
Yes, we're located right down smack downtown Atlanta, and we have a huge tennis program here. We have about 400 active families at our facility. We only have 8 courts. We actually have to lease out some court space at a local public park each season to even accommodate all the teams that we have. So we have a huge program. And last season, we got 1 week into the local league here that's called ALTA. That's the Atlanta Lawn Tennis Association. That is actually the world's largest tennis league. It's actually the world's second largest independent sports league in the world. I think there's an Argentinian soccer league that's bigger. So there's 100,000 people in Atlanta that play ALTA every week. And 1 week into that, they just called everybody and said, we're shutting it down. So soon after that, our club shut down in March, and we were shut down for the month of March and April. And then we reopened in May with a very slow step program where it was just private lessons only. And then we went to singles play, and then we grew it to small groups for lessons. Then it went back to doubles play, and eventually it got back to the full scale there. But we scaled it up starting in May.
I understand that, okay, so you're starting to bring it back, but that's not as far as you went. Right now, you wanted to do something special for your members. You started an intra-squad or intra-club?
Correct. To replace that ALTA league play that happens here, because league play is a huge part of the tennis program in any club in Atlanta. That's just a big part of what happens. And when that goes away, two things happen. Our members didn't have anywhere to play. We have a staff of 5 full-time tennis pros that didn't have the lesson base if they weren't going to be having the league play. So we wanted all those things to come back. So we had the revenue generated for the club plus the activity level for the members. And so we created our own in-house league. Part of the reason we went that format was because when we started looking at our numbers that play ALTA and what was going to be happening at our club every week and trying to figure out how to keep our members safe, how to keep our club open without having large outbreaks that shut us down. We had to do that at one point. We had a 2-week quarantine because we had some employees that had an outbreak. So we wanted to make sure that we minimized all that stuff and made sure that we could do things to keep the club open. And with our regular league play, we have so many teams, so much play that happens here. We average about 200 to 220 guests a week that are coming through the club to play in those leagues against our members. And we just felt like every single week having that many people coming through, there was no way we could really manage that and know where the people that had been, what their situation is. And we were worried that if 2 or 3 of those people, in the whole season came through and then reported they had tested positive for COVID, that would shut down about half our tennis program, because if they were playing here, then 4 or 5 of our teams are playing here that day would also have to quarantine because that person would have been here that day. So in order to try to reduce our risk, we came up with our own in-house league to keep people playing and keep people going. And really, as the tennis department started talking through it, and I was talking through it with some of the pros, we came up with a format that really made it much more social. And we're into week 2 of it right now. We're supposed to be playing today, but it's raining here in Atlanta, so we're not playing today, but we're in the second week of it, and the members have liked it so much. There's even talk about, do we continue this next season, even if there's not as much risk with COVID come next spring? So they've really, really enjoyed it. The format we came up with was a format where each team had all different levels of players on it. So you had your top level players and your beginner players on each team, and each team kind of had the same levels across the board. And as the teams played each other, we came up with a format that the captains had to pick people from certain groups to play each line. And they had 5 lines of doubles, where the number 1 line was your better players, all the way down to 5, which could be kind of beginner level players. But it mixed all the teams together, because during all the other types of league play that we normally run, everything is divided by team and by level. So the ladies on their team knew each other really well, but they might not know any of the ladies that play on a team higher or lower than them, because they just don't run into them because they're not part of their team. So now with the way we've done this whole in-house league, there's ladies that have never met each other now that are all becoming friends and all knowing each other, and they've got this much broader swath of friends they now know at the club. So when they're in the fitness center, or they go to eat, or they're coming to the pool and stuff, now they know a lot more people that they didn't really normally run into. So the social aspect of this league has really been great for the members. I mean, they've really enjoyed that, being able to kind of expand who they know at the club just by continuing to play tennis.
That's fantastic. I know. I mean, clubs are. It's social. That's what you're there for, right? To make friends and to broaden your circles. Is this format unique?
I have not heard of it exactly being put together like we did. I'm sure that there's so many in-house leagues that happen all over the country. I'm sure someone has something similar. We tried to build in some different things to ours, where we listed it by color category. Like if you were in the green group, you had to play line 1, but then we put a what we called the gray group. We just had it kind of color coded in a chart for everybody to make it easy for the captains. We had a person that could float. They could go up to A or down to the B level, and then we had our B level players, and then we put a player in there that could float between B and C. So it gives the captains a lot of flexibility, gives the players some flexibility to play maybe a little bit higher than they normally would, but then also kind of back with where their players normally go. So the whole idea was to make this very, very easy, because we know with what's going on with COVID, at any given time, a team might have 4 players that have to quarantine at home and wouldn't be able to come up here because their kids are going back to school. Husbands are traveling a little bit more now with business. That's kind of starting to go back again. So we just never knew what was going to happen. So we tried to make it to where this league would be very flexible, very easy for them to manage, and also still keep them playing no matter what. And so even with all of this, we have a 7-week regular season we put together, but every single team makes the playoffs. So even if something happens in the middle of the season, you're not wrecked. You can still just kind of get through that. And at the end of the season, when the playoff time comes, everybody still has a shot to kind of play. And we have some prizes and some fun stuff for them at the end of the season with that playoff format. So, it's really gone well for us. We were a little bit concerned because Alta is such a big, like the big gorilla in the room here in Atlanta. And when that went away, we weren't sure if people would actually still want to play in some league format and against all their friends, because a lot of ladies get a little nervous about playing against all the people they know. But we had over 200 ladies sign up for our league. So we've got a huge group that's playing on Thursdays for the non-working ladies, or ladies that could get here on Thursday morning to play. And we have another league that goes on Sundays for the working women or ladies with little kids that don't go to school quite yet. So they have a place to play on Sundays as well. We have a men's league on Saturday mornings, and we have a junior league that plays on Saturday afternoons. So we've kind of covered all of the different swaths of people at our club, and they're all really jumping into this in-house league and really enjoyed it. So overall, there's 280 total players that are playing in this in-house league.
Holy cow. So I always ask, what, if anything, you're going to carry over to 2021, assuming COVID is behind us?
Sure.
You kind of answered that already. Is there anything else beyond the league play that you're thinking about carrying over into 21?
Yeah, we've done several different things with our lesson programs and different formats of things that we've put together. We've put together a lot more open clinics, not just team formatted clinics. We've done things that are not necessarily new to everywhere, but in Atlanta, because everything's so league driven, teams tend to congregate as teams, come to clinic as teams, practice as teams. And with the COVID outbreak, we put out together a lot more like open clinics, just a drill clinic. You can come to just drills on Friday for any lady that plays in one of our leagues. And it's really a fun, fast pace. They play a lot of games. It's not, you're not going to learn to be the next, Bryan Brothers doubles team in that clinic, but that's okay. That's more just a fun, fast paced clinic. And they really enjoy that because it's no pressure at all. So we're going to keep expanding those offerings and keep adding those. We put in some even things that have to do with like a cardio tennis type program, because people are always looking to get out and get some exercise at this point, especially some of the moms that are now having to do homeschooling with their kids. They're really looking to get out and do some more things. So those have been very popular. So some of those expansions that they're not brand new ideas to the whole thing, but it's a bit different to Atlanta because we didn't have the time or the court space to add those programs with all the league play going on. So now that we've been able to kind of customize our league play, we've been able to open up more offerings for people that will go forward in 2021.
That's terrific. Hey, Matt, thank you very much for taking time to chat with us. And thank you for watching. This has been brought to you by Club and Resort Business, Club and Resort Chef, and the Club and Resort Chef Association. And thank you to our sponsor, True. If you have a great idea or a success story you'd like featured on a future episode of The Road Back, contact us at editor@clubandresortbusiness.com.